Hi, this week I'm taking a look at Jesus's withdrawal to the Sea of Galilee. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's not one of those topics that when you hear the title of the post that it sounds electrifying. I'm not sure how many of my posts have electrifying titles anyway, but this one sounds pretty benign. But there are some interesting things in here. So for one, Matthew references a passage from Isaiah about what the Messiah is going to be like, and it reiterates again and again how gentle he's going to be, and how you won't hear him crying out in the streets, and he will not break a reed, and so it's talking about how gentle he was, or he would be, but it still portrays him as the victor. And so Isaiah was saying that to the Jewish people at a time when they were oppressed, and he was giving them some hope about a savior that was coming to save them. Even at that time, though, it was pretty clear from Isaiah's prophecy that that Savior was not only going to be for them, but also for their oppressors, for the people who were enslaving them and who were fighting them and pillaging them. So it must have been a really shocking thing, but the Israelites were still hopeful because it meant, whatever it was, it meant that they were going to be relieved of the bondage that they were in. And so they had always looked forward to this political leader who was going to come to power and save them. And they were looking for some mighty king. So it was, I'm sure, so strange to them again that here Jesus shows up and he's a gentle servant. And granted, he's telling them later he's going to come back as king, but for right now, he's here to be just this quiet voice. And it was a lot of the reason that he was discredited in their opinion as the Messiah. So, but the people who did believe in him also, a lot of them wanted to make him king right then. So that's part of the reason he told them not to tell anyone who he was, because they even tried to mob him one time and force him to be the king. So he really had to be careful that he was able to carry out his mission in the way he intended, in the way that God willed it to happen. So then there were a couple of other things in here about how far people traveled to come see Jesus. I remarked on God having a chosen people, and I've often considered that. Why did God choose a certain people group if he loves everyone, if all humans are his creation? Why did he pick a specific people group to be, quote, his people? And we know Jesus was sent for the whole world, the Jews and the Gentiles. And when I was reading about this, it really opened my eyes to how that worked. God had this people, Israel, who worked out his will in so many ways on the earth, and through them came Jesus, who did then save the Gentiles, who was this bridge to the entire rest of the world. And so it was kind of amazing to have that revelation that God had a plan the whole time, and he does want to see every person saved, every person touched, and is just reassuring and kind of a welcome, I guess, comfort that I'm not on some fringe of God's affection or his plan. So anyway, take a look at the rest of it, and we'll see you again next time.